Lesson 2.8 is called Patterns in Exponents, but it's really dealing with negative integers. Sorry, negative exponents. Integers are negative numbers. It's going to deal with negative exponents. So there's a pattern to all of this. And the idea here is as I move across this bottom row, which apparently it thinks it needs to move those numbers around as I draw, you can see we're dividing by 10. So when I take 1 and divide it by 10, I get 0.1. And when I take 0.1 and divide by 10, I get 0.01. And those numbers are 1/10 and 1/100th respectively. Okay. There's a pattern here, and I am going to get to it. I'm kind of blazing through this a little faster because I think doing this investigation by video is not the best. So as we went into the negative numbers, we had 1/10, 1/100th. So that means we're going to have 1/1000th, 1/10,000th, and 1/100,000th. Which for the record is 1/1000, 1/10,000, and 1/100,000. So negative exponents. A power with a negative exponent is equal to 1 divided by the same power with a positive exponent. And this is what it looks like. Whatever our power is, we're going to chuck it into the denominator of a fraction and change the exponent to positive. So 2 to the negative third is the same thing as 1/2 to the third. Chuck it in the bottom of a fraction and make the exponent positive. This does say evaluate, which means we do have to turn the 2 to the third into a number. 2 to the third is 8. We can do the same thing with a negative base. The negative base does not change. It stays negative. Only the exponent gets to become positive when you throw it in the denominator. -2 to the third power. -2 times -2 is +4. +4 times -2 is -8. Now we want to use our rules. 10 to the third times 10 to the negative third is 10 to the 3 plus -3. Right? This should be familiar. This comes from the last lesson. Of course, 3 plus -3 is not something I like, so that's 10 to the 3 minus 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. Whoops. Give me a second, I need to remind my iPad that I am allowed to do this. And anything to the 0 power is 1. Now, the division rule said I can rewrite this as 2 to the 4 minus 7, which makes it 2 to the -3, which we did before. That means it's 1/2 to the +3, and that's an 1/8. We can shortcut this a little bit. Because the bigger exponent is in the denominator, we could go straight to making this 1/2 to the 7 minus 4. We can do subtraction in the denominator because the denominator has the bigger exponent. And this just gets us a little bit faster to the 1/2 to the third. Both methods are viable. Both methods work. I suggest you try to get into the idea of my second method here, where wherever the bigger exponent is, I will subtract from. It will save you a lot of time, not this year, but in Algebra 2, Algebra 3, and Calculus.